Yo, Paulie Malignaggi, Paulie TV. Did you just see that Derek Chisora and Joe Joyce fight? I'm sweating. I felt like I was fighting in there. Derek Chisora continues to give us some of the most entertaining fights in boxing. Low key, because I think it's because he's not American. Maybe we don't appreciate him here on this side of the pond. Bro, but this is why the British fans are the best fans in the world. Because Joe Joyce, Derek Chisora probably wouldn't even be in one of these fights if it wasn't for the great fans in the UK. Low-key, one of the most exciting fighters in all of boxing in the world. I mean, and he keeps doing stuff like this. You know why he gets picked for these big fights, right? Again, thank God for the UK and the boxing scene there, because I think in the US, they wouldn't appreciate him as much. The networks wouldn't keep putting him on as much, because he wins, he loses, he wins, he loses. He's like a heavyweight Arturo Gatti, this guy. It's nuts. It's nuts. And then you kind of felt like he was going to be a live dog here against Joe Joyce. By the way, I usually start out my videos with the result. I'm so discombobulated from this fight that I can't even say it. For any of you that didn't see it, Derek Chisora just won a decision over Joe Joyce and dropped him in the process. What big bombs, classic heavyweight stuff. Again, going back to what I was saying, you kind of always think Chisora is always going to show up, and he's always going to show up live. The guy always shows up to win. He never just shows up for a payday. You know, he doesn't show up just like an idiot. Like, I don't know, like what do you guys call it? Plunkers. He doesn't show up like a plunker. You know, like how the Brits call it. Whatever. I'm just gonna do what I do. No, every single time he shows up to throw bombs. Every single time. Even if sometimes he punches himself out, like we saw that in the Usyk fight when he did that against Alexander Usyk, kind of punched himself out and he got tired. Sometimes he tends to do that because he throws these big shots, and you kind of, even now Carl Frampton just said he kind of expected him to do that in this fight too. I kind of expected him to do that. It's not like he's a spring chicken. But then again, Joe Joyce is also not a spring chicken. And that's what made this fight so intriguing. Both guys in a sort of put up or shut up fight, in a sort of loser leaves town kind of fight, to take a page out of the old WWF. But what a fight, man. Then Derek Chisora, just when you think he's kind of fading, you think he's rough and rugged and he's rough and tumble type of guy. And did you see that knockdown? He rolled and threw a right hand. He threw a roll right hand counter on this guy. Are you nuts? So that for all of you that might think, and including me at times, I look at Chisora like, he's just a rough and tumble guy, really tough, really mentally strong. He's not just that. The guy actually has a lot of technique behind him. Did you see that knockdown? That's a roll counter, bro. That's a fancy move you made there. Unbelievable. I don't even know where you go from here. I think this would be a terrific swan song, and he should retire. But again, Chisora is a lunatic out of his mind. He was headbutting a FedEx guy the other day. Did everybody see that when he headbutted the delivery guy on the internet? That was wild. I mean, he just lives on the moment, which is what makes him so exciting. But at the same time, you just never know what you're going to get out of him. I think he should retire, and really, this would be such a great way to go out. And I'm sure he can do like reality shows and all kinds of stuff. This guy's such a character, man. This guy's made for TV. I don't know, man. But then again, he also is in such high impact fights that you start worrying about his health later on if he does keep on fighting. I don't know. Personally, it's not my decision. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants. But also, with Joe Joyce, what do you do? You know, what do you do? He's also not a spring chicken, and his punch resistance is kind of going. He didn't get stopped here, but he did get dropped. You know, we saw the trouble he had with Zhang, who himself just got beat against Parker, right? Before coming back against Deontay Wilder. I don't know, man. It's interesting, man. It's a lot to think about in the heavyweight division, because you see we got the very top of the heavyweight division, which is really exciting. But then you start to get like second half of the top 10, maybe even the outer top 10, and you start seeing guys like this, and they're still for exciting fights. This is why we got to stop with all these pound for pound lists and counting records. The reason I don't like pound for pound lists is because it makes guys not want to fight. Because then once they lose, they're not on pound for pound lists anymore, or it's very hard to be the top of the pound for pound list with a loss. You know, very difficult to do. So, you know, and guys value that because the media values that and the fans value that, and it makes guys not want to fight. You see with these kind of guys will never be on pound for pound lists. But man, dude, this is crazy. What a fight we just saw. Derek Chisora, low-key, has been one of the most exciting fighters in the sport of boxing, world boxing, really, because he's been at a world level for a while. I can remember him as far back as when he fought David Haye, who then started managing him for a while, too. I mean, this guy is super exciting. I mean, I was sweating watching this fight, jumping out of my seat. I had to take my shirt off. I feel like I'm in a wrestling ring right now. Crazy. I don't know, man. I'm Paulie Malignaggi. This is Paulie TV. Derek Chisora. Man, what a fighter.